Welcome back to the Vloggy Vlog. Today is non-tech related. Surprise, surprise. It's actually music related because I've been pursuing piano production. So I'm going to show you the steps that I'm going to do in order to make a song. Started this at 8 o'clock. It's now 8:22 p.m. So we'll see how long it takes me to do this. First, I told ChatGPT that I wanted to create a song that was Taylor Swift-esque. I told it to do a mix of Daylight by Taylor Swift and Maroon because those are my two favorite Taylor Swift songs. But then I came across this really cool sound called Chicago chords. And listen, it's so cool. And I was like, I need to stick with that. So I'm actually now creating a new song from the Taylor Swift one that I was originally doing. So there were a few variations of this. So recently I've been using ChatGPT as a diary, and it's called Emotional Investment Anxiety. And then I asked ChatGPT to make me some lyrics from my diary. And then I've been rewriting the lyrics that it gave me to match the notes in each verse, because I kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes per verse is what I've been kind of vibing with in this particular instrument. So we're moving and grooving with that. And then I am writing it in a Google Doc and then putting the notes that I like above it. The reason I'm writing the notes down is so I can remember later, so we can repeat for the verses later. I also asked ChatGPT how I should build a verse versus a pre-verse versus a chorus versus a bridge. And for the verse, it told me to stay within a small range of notes. The pre-chorus will basically build, and then the chorus should have a broader range of notes, and then the bridge I haven't gone to yet. Okay, next I'm asking it, how should a bridge differ from a chorus? Okay, so minor chords, a different key, or less predictable changes. I'm wondering if it would be too weird to actually just change the tempo up, have 4 notes instead of 5. Previously, this has been played in C major, so I think I'm just gonna add in an F sharp, which would make this a D major. Actually, maybe I should do something minor. Maybe it should include a C sharp, then that would be an A major. Okay, I'm just gonna throw in a black key somewhere. We're gonna make it different for the bridge. This endeavor is post-run, so hence the fit. But now I'm building out the bridge. And then I think the next line should basically be the same thing in the opposite direction, so almost like a harmony. F sharp, E, D, E, D. So this is a pretty simple song because each row of notes is basically played twice. And then once I got the first verse and the chorus notes, which are only like 5 or 6 lines each, and each line is repeated twice, then I just do verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, chorus. I think I'm just gonna skip the pre-chorus there. And then I go straight to bridge, which I'm only gonna do 4 lines. And then I think we're gonna do a final verse, which I'm just gonna copy and paste the notes of the previous verse, like the first verse, but then maybe end on something like a little bit more final. Let me ask ChatGPT, do you always need a pre-chorus? How many times throughout the song? So you don't always need a pre-chorus. Some songs only use it once for a dramatic buildup. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it after the first verse, have a pre-chorus, and then after the second verse, do not have a pre-chorus, just go straight into the chorus. Oh, then I think it should be the chorus again, actually. So the final chorus, and then there should be some grand finale at the end of this, and then I'm gonna write in the lyrics later, the ChatGPT lyrics. So this is the final chorus. But I'm feeling like we need 2 final lines at the end that kind of concludes it. So the last 2 lines of my normal chorus is C, B, C, B. And then I think it's gonna be like, doesn't sound so final. I think it needs to be dramatic buildup. I'm trying to think of how EDM songs typically end their songs. I'm trying to think of like Disclosure, John Summit, like how do they end their songs? I feel like Charlie XCX, like Party For You vibes is usually like party on you, party on you, party on you. There's like a big dramatic buildup. I actually love songs with a dramatic buildup like that. Okay, I actually think I'm just gonna go through the whole thing. Now that I have all the notes, the different parts, copy and pasted, I think I'm gonna just record it and you guys can listen to the recording as I'm recording it. Okay, so this is basically how it's happening. I have a MIDI cord connected to my electric piano here, and then I'm just gonna honestly hold it up and we're going to do record on GarageBand. I have a couple verses that I muted because I just didn't like them as much. So we're just gonna go ahead and record and start playing and see what happens. And I don't have a metronome on because I feel like Taylor Swift doesn't have metronomes on when she's playing in her like studio sessions, you know? So let's see how this goes. Chorus. Oopsie. Okay, I messed up there. So I'm just gonna backtrack it a little bit. I'm gonna chop off that end piece because at the chorus I played the wrong note. Here I played E and then it goes up higher. So I need to change my hand position. So I'm gonna record this part separately now, just over the previous one. Get my hand in the right position. Why is this so good? It's kind of a banger. I think I actually misplayed that. Please excuse the darkness. It's now 8:32. So I think I'm gonna actually change that ending note to a C. It sounds better than when I played that versus what is a D at the end. It just sounds better to me. I think I'm gonna change the chorus, all the choruses, that first and second line is gonna end with a C rather than a D. So let's do this again. So it's a little more complicated, so I think I'm gonna have to do it, record it verse by verse. Okay, so now we're rolling into verse 2, so we're basically repeating the same thing that I've recorded before. So up until that point, so it'll be verse 2 and then a chorus. So what I actually might do to speed along this process is just copy and paste that entire section that I just recorded and just copy and paste it again. So it plays twice, but it'll have different lyrics because it's basically a verse, pre-chorus, chorus. So then I'll just copy and paste the recording to have another verse, pre-chorus, chorus. So I'm gonna go against what I said before. I'm actually going to have a pre-chorus both times, and then I can focus on recording the bridge. Okay, so here you can see I copy and pasted the same thing that I just recorded, and we're gonna make sure it lines up properly. Okay, I think this needs to play like right here. Ooh, actually, that's a little too quick after the previous one. Let's try this. It's a little too soon, I think. Okay, there we go. Now we can get into recording the bridge, which will be this pattern where I threw in the black key. Let's get it poppin'. Okay, then after that we would play the final chorus, so that would be the bridge leading into the final chorus. Okay, so now we're gonna be recording the final verse, which is basically the final chorus. So it's a repeat of the prior choruses, and I honestly don't know how to end this song. And a fun fact about me is a pet peeve when I was younger was people fading out songs at the end. Like, you know, pop songs, sometimes they just fade, like Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae, it just fades out at the end. And it was my pet peeve because it felt lazy on the musician, but I'm gonna do it now. Okay, so now we're gonna record the very final. Okay, I actually improvised at the end and I just added a C, E, G, C, high C because it's in C major-ish. It's now 8:38 and I have finished the melody of the song. It is 36 measures. Here's the measure. And another fun fact about doing music stuff in GarageBand is adding in this metronome if you want to be on beat. And also this allows you to count in your recording sessions by 4 beats. There are 5 beats in every verse that I have here, so it's slightly off, but whatever. Since I'm just like freestyling this song, I think this is good enough for me. So maybe now I'll add vocals and then we'll add in chords. Okay, so if I took from the Google Doc and I said, these are all of my notes, disregard the lyrics. Can you write me lyrics that match the notes and structure here so I can sing them, make them based off my emotional anxiety entry? Then I copy and pasted the notes. I had some of the lyrics written, but basically beyond the chorus, I didn't have anything written, so I wanted to make sure that that was included. Okay, before I record the vocals, I think I'm gonna add like a bass layer or some kind of chords to accompany this melody. That this will be the voice melody. I'm gonna sing over this part, but also still have this in the back. But I wanna have another thing that's the chords. Then I think I'll add a bass layer. So the chord should be another instrument. I think it should sound synthy, so I search synth. So you can basically help me pick the instrument for what the chord should be. Oh, I actually like that. It's called Cute Crush Synth. And I'm basically picking the chords on, I'm just gonna play the first note of each line. In this case, the first line and second line start with an E. I'm just gonna play like an E chord, but I'm gonna take out the middle note. So it's basically just like an E up to a B, because that's 5 notes up. It's basically like a interval of sorts. And I'm just gonna layer it. So let's see how it sounds together. Kind of sounding like a church bell there. Oh, wait a second. Okay, here, it's actually restarting. Okay, it's now 8:50, and I'm gonna do a bass, which I'm just gonna play the very first note of each line, but I'm just gonna do it really, really, really low on the piano, like towards the end. And for the instrument, I wanna do an 808 drum because it's kind of like classic for these kind of things. Oh, I think that sounds cool actually. So this one is the noisy 808 bass. So we're gonna go through and play those from the top. Okay, so here's a bit of me recording with the bass. I'm like, are you even hearing the bass? Okay, maybe I can just turn the bass up. Maybe I need to do the noisy 808 bass, but each note needs to be played longer. It's not staccato like the rest of the notes are, because I'm just not hearing it over the chords that I've been playing. So let's try that again. Why was that kind of sick? Okay, and there we have it. What you just heard that I recorded, I would say is a complete song. I would just have to layer vocals over it, which I imagine will be auto-tuned, but I think that that would be good. But basically to me, a full song is like melody, chords, plus bass, and this has all 3. And it's now 8:56, so it took me 56 minutes to build a song together and record it for you guys. So the last piece would be like rapping over this. So for instance, if I were to do vocals, it would be something like, light on me, a ghost where you were. You promised a pause, but you lit the match. Now the air feels thin where you once began. And then we basically auto-tune it, but I just had ChatGPT write me lyrics based on the notes that I put together, just based on kind of what sounded cool with that like instrument that I liked. And so yeah, there we have it. How to make a song in 1 hour. Shout out to my amazing piano teacher, Gina, that gave me this exercise this week, because I've never made a full song before on my own. I've done it once before with one of my friends, Sean, which is in another vlog. It's the Kierkegaard philosophy explanation vlog, where I talked about making a song and why it's important to be bored and pursue hobbies and such. And I talked about the idea of crop rotation, where you can crop rotate various hobbies that you have to keep your ideas fresh. And for instance, if you're a founder, I think that's a really good idea. But anyways, you can refer back to that vlog if you'd like. Yeah, I'll put the song at the end of this. So in order to record my vocals, I basically have to listen to the exported MP3 of the song that I made into my headphones, and then record the audio into the headphones / my phone, and then drag and drop the audio clip into the GarageBand, because I have to like record it without any other background noise. So that's what I'm gonna do next to layer on the vocals. Okay, I just recorded the vocals through these headphones and on my phone. Then I airdropped the vocals to my computer, and we're gonna drop it in here and then kind of like make sure it lines up. Yeah, so see, it kind of like started there, I think. Okay, I think it needs to line up like right here. Where you were, you promised a pause, but you lit the match. Okay, so now we're gonna auto-tune the vocals, which I've never done before. So I'm basically searching it on YouTube so that I can auto-tune these, because that was not good, not at all. So I basically pressed B, and then I pressed E, and now I'm doing pitch correction per this YouTube video. So let's see. Oh, light on me, a ghost where you were. You promised a pause, but you lit the... Okay, and he said to check limit to key, which is C major, if you want to really make it sound auto-tuned, which I think I should. Oh, perfect. Wait, that was so fast. So I literally just press B on my computer to get the controls, and then E to get the editor. Then I toggle to track, toggle pitch correction to 100, and then limit to the key, and it'll match to the key that I set, which is C major. Okay, and there you have it. It's now 9:10, and I completed the vocals. So thank you. My Grammy is dedicated to Gina Romantini. Oh my God! My piano teacher from Trala, and now independent of Trala. Alrighty, well, thanks for watching. Oh, light on me, a ghost where you were. You promised a pause, but you lit the match. Now the air feels thin where you once began. Words like smoke, they fade, hung there, slipped away. There's nothing here now, just outlines and sound. There's nothing here now but echoes and dust. You could have been kind, but silence was enough. Same street light hum, different kind of lone. You said you'd be sure, but left like a storm. There was no door slammed, still I felt it closed. Words like smoke, you knew exactly what not to do. There's nothing here now but what we outgrew. There's nothing here now but silence that sings. You could have said no, but said everything. I trace what you say through static and sleep, and I miss feeling more than feeling this. There's nothing here now but what we were once. You shouldn't have lied, said nothing when asked.